When finding the equation for a trig function, we can first pick our formula. So our formula can be either sine or cosine. Notice that they are interchangeable because they are simple phase shifts away from one another. I'll pick cosine, so somewhat arbitrarily. And cosine, remember, starts at its maximum. So we're reading from here. Our formula is A cosine of B times x minus c plus d. And we're going to say y equals, because our variables are y and x. Alright. Knowing all this, we can start plugging in some values. So remember, there are some features that are related between these numbers and the graph. So namely, the period is an important number. The distance from minimum to minimum, or maximum to maximum for that matter. We just don't have another maximum to compare it to. The y value of the midline is also an important value. The amplitude, or the distance from the midline to a maximum, is important. And also the phase shift, so the shift from 0 of the usual start of the function, which for us is a maximum all the way over here. Alright, here we can tell that the amplitude going from 7 to 10, A, is equal to 3. B has a special relationship to the period, that is 2 pi over P, the period, is our number. Notice that our period goes from 3 all the way to 23, so our period is 20. 2 pi over 20, which is the same thing as pi over 10. C here is the phase shift from 0. Notice that our maximum occurs all the way over here, when usually for a cosine it starts at 0, so it's been phase shifted 13. And finally, D, the y value of our midline, is 7. And the midline can also be found, if not visually, as the halfway point between the y values of the minimum and the maximum. Let's put all this information together to create our final equation. Y equals 3 cosine of pi over 10 times x minus 13 all plus 7.